Hi, I am Dr. Gloria Ingram, and I'm here with another video to discuss chaos in your home and what you can do to make it better. We discussed, the last one was on loud noises in your house, and we talked about some things that you can do to get rid of those loud noises. Tonight is going to be about clutter, and you with clutter, the physical clutter, you don't see it when it first starts because you just came in and put your uh, coat on the sofa, let's say. But eventually you go and you sit between the pillows and the clutter that's there. And after a while, you just have things laying around everywhere. And that eventually starts to affect you. It starts to cause stress, anxiety, even the children, because they see it. They come in and just lay on the sofa on top of all the clutter and the clothes and everything. And everybody starts to see a change is coming on. You stop being able to concentrate. You can't sleep. You can't manage your emotions. You're yelling and hollering at each other. You're having accidents. They've studied and they said that really clutter can cause you to have allergies come back. If you have asthma, you may start to see that this asthma is coming back. Your emotional problems, things that didn't used to bother you, will start to bother you because you don't like sitting around the clutter, but for some reason you can't get yourself to get up and get motivated enough to get rid of it. So you have to look at it and decide, I am going to tackle the cleanup job. They have a little system too. It doesn't have to be done all at one time. You could take your time, and the best system that I saw was one that you divide the clutter into three parts. You have a pile to keep, a pile to donate, and a pile to discard, put in the trash can. You have little containers with labels. You put the labels on them for the small items. Like if you have a bunch of socks that's laying around, maybe you washed and you couldn't find the mate to one, and you just it's thrown up in the on the sofa, the chair, or whatever. But if you get a small container, you can put all of these small things in that container. And after, let's say, you finish with the things that you're going to donate, and you want to work on at least one part. If you can, do it all. But I don't think that you will want to do that because it's a lot of work, depending on how much the family has been piling and piling and piling. And if you hear your child say, look at all this junk, you know there's a real problem. It's time now to let's do something about it. And it should be done with all the members of the family because this clutter comes from everybody. And this is the only way that you are going to ensure that you don't do this again. You want to keep things neat and get rid of things that you're not going to use. Don't let it build up. If you see something, you say, oh boy, I put my coat over there. Let me hang this up now and put it in order where it is supposed to be. When I was teaching school, we had one class had over 30 kids in it, and they all the chairs were just thrown around everywhere, and you could see the chaos. You could see it in there. So I told you that I always had assistance because I worked with children that took a little longer to learn. So we one day decided, let's put them in groups as opposed to just having all of the chairs across the room. So we put them in, and we chose a color. There's going to be four here, and four here. And we got a container to put beside each desk. So this is where you put your books in. When you came in that morning, you put your books in that container, and of course you had a little room under your desk. You understood, we talked about what was to be expected. No coats would be on the floor, so we bought a long rack so that they could come in. We even had them to hang their coats together. So if you lived in and you sat in the blue section, all the blue section would have their clothes in a special area. You could keep up from afar with who did come in and hang their coats up and who did not. If you worked the system and you did what you were supposed to do, we created things. We talked with the children and said, what would you like to do? If 15 to 30 minutes before the buses come on Friday, if you have gotten a check every day, there would be something you can do to for a reward. And some said they wanted ice cream and sodas and all of that. Some wanted reading time. Some wanted to go out for recess. And we stuck to it. We did it as long as they did it. It took about 2 weeks. And what we started to see was of the four that were sitting together, if one did not do what he or she was supposed to do, someone from the group would say, "Don't forget to hang your coat up." And there were times like if we had a child that was having a particularly bad day, we would see one of the students from that particular group go over and do it for them sometimes because they love to win, especially when you let them choose what it is that they can do. And it came out to be so good because for recess, for instance, when it was time to go out, you had to make sure that everything was in place. Your small items were in a container. Your books were in the little container that we bought a little box like thing that they had to keep their books in when they were not using them. And if they went to line, they had to stand in line like if they were going to the cafeteria. And we had them singing the multiplication tables. Now, this was really good, and it added a little prize to it because they all learned their multiplication tables and they could stand and look back to see did everybody do what they were supposed to do? So, everybody bought into it. Everybody wanted to be a part of it. And that was with 30 and 35 children. Now, in your house, you won't have that many people, but eventually, as everybody's doing what they are supposed to do, you will see them helping each other to put things in order and go back and make sure that you follow the rules. And they could go and put a little check mark to say, yes, for this day, of course, the parents have to make sure that this is true, put a little signature, three initials or something to say, yes, they did this on Monday. Now, if they started to drag their feet, sometimes you would have to call them over by yourself, or somebody in that group is going to say, "You are making us lose." So it spreads. You learn to connect. And this same thing can happen in your house. So try to come up and talk to each other this weekend to see exactly what do you want to start with? You can start. I gave you two options with the noise, if you have loud noise or clothes all over the place with the chaos. But you may have something going on that's different. I just want to make sure that we get started and get the table set up and also have it written down. As soon as you tell me what you're going to work on, I will get the paper to you so that you can start filling it out. I think you're going to be surprised and happy because for one thing, you learn to manage your stress and also improve your quality of life. Okay, see you next time.